So welcome to part 2 of our tutorial. Now I am not gonna lie, this is quite tricky. So we're making our actual origami bauble, and this was my first attempt. So I have Christine designed this and tested it with Esther, and this is my first time doing it. So it is not easy, but you can definitely do it. I've done it. It takes some patience, and I would say have on hand a damp cloth to wipe away the glue, because you'll see throughout the tutorial that mine is a bit grubby because I didn't do that, didn't have the damp cloth on hand to wipe away the glue. You also might want to try a glue gun. I'm going to do another test now and do a glue gun and see if that one holds it a bit kind of firmer and makes it therefore a little bit easier. So be patient, take each stage step by step, make sure your glue is dried so that the structure is stable. And just, I did really enjoy this, learning a new skill and conquering something that at the start I thought, oh my goodness, this is quite hard. And I really enjoyed it. So I really hope you really enjoy the process, and oh my goodness, it's really good for helping you to switch your brain off and not switch it off because you need it on, but you need it on in a different way. So yeah, enjoy. So we're going to start gluing the card together. So yours will be stitched, obviously. So you have these two tabs on the ends of your rectangle, and you have an open corner. So one side has the tabs and the other one is what we're calling an open corner. So these tabs need to get glued onto that, and we're going to just keep doing that and keep adding pieces of card. And it might seem a bit fiddly, but it is totally possible. We're going to get a little bit of our glue. Put a little tiny bit, you don't need loads. And those tabs get glued onto there. You could hold it for a bit just to get it to set. And you can see already how these are going to form the kind of inside part where you get that kind of triangle shape. So I'm starting to glue the edges together. My top tips for this stage are just be really, really patient and wait until your glue has dried on one bit before you try moving on to the next bit. So I've just glued two tabs into the open side. And you can just see how that's going to start folding down to become that inner bit. But you do have to be really patient. The other thing I would do is keep a damp dishcloth so that you don't get these glue marks on the sides, so that you can wipe your hands whenever you get glue on your hands, because as you wipe the glue on the outside of the card, especially on the white, then you're going to see it. So top tips are be super patient. So I've just glued those bits together. So now that's dried, I'm going to add my third tab in, third rectangle in to the open end of that first rectangle, and I'm going to glue that and add those tabs in there. It's quite important to try and get everything lined up so that you have just got this tab showing here, the points meet. I mean, I'm laughing that I'm giving you an origami tutorial. We'll get Esther to do a live tutorial, hopefully. So I'm going to hold these together and wait until they dry. So I am not following my own advice here, and I haven't wiped off the glue, so I've got some little marks there, but ignore mine. You can have a little cloth with you and wipe as you go. So then this third rectangle, we are attaching the tab to the open end and creating that lovely pleasing corner that we talk about in the instructions. So I'm going to put my glue on that on these tabs. And add it. I'm just going to press it down. So this is the inside view. I've put glue on the tabs and I'm just pressing them down until these ones dry. I think it is actually possible to do this without the glue, but as an origami beginner, good Lord, I am not sure how you do that. I think Esther would be able to do this without the glue, but I am relying heavily on the glue for my construction. So I'll show you the next bit. So we have our first little corner, and now you need to just keep adding in your folded elements and adding the tabbed sides to the open part of the shape. So we've got this tabbed side, and that is going to go here, and then it will get folded in, and this tabbed bit will go here. And you can see we'll form that triangle insert bit again. So I'm just going to glue that. So you can just see we're trying to keep the points and all of the corners lined up so that you get neat folds. So I'm going to let that dry. So now the glue is dried on that bit, I'm going to join it up, join these two bits up, get my corners straight, and then I'm making my second little kind of corner, triangle corner. So with one hand I'm pushing the tab in on the inside on that first bit, and with the other hand I'm doing this bit and pushing this down together and just waiting until it's dry. So this is what mine is looking like from the inside. Oh, that one's not stuck down properly. Just gonna stick that one down a little bit more. So I've got two more rectangles to add. So I'm going to just refolding. I think it helps to kind of make these folds as strong as possible and clear as possible. So I'm going to add my next tabbed piece into this open side here. So I'm going to glue here and here, and then that will fold down, and we'll glue that one underneath and onto that side. So I'll do this one first. So I am just holding that down a little bit while it sticks, but actually these lines on the inside are really helpful for showing you where you need to stick your piece of card so that it's aligned. So just try and get it as lined up as possible. Give it a press down. It only takes like a minute, maybe not even that actually, 30 seconds to kind of press it down and wait for it to hold. I think the longer you leave it though, the easier it will be for you to build this. give you the most sturdy kind of block. So now I'm at the stage, I've just got one more piece left to add in. So this is my penultimate piece that I'm finishing here. And I am just going to be gluing those tabs under there like that. So I'm gonna, that's what it looks like from the inside. I'm gonna put the glue on those and press those in. So again, I'm getting inside the shape and I'm pressing down to secure the glue as much as I can on both of those tabs. I think the key with this one is taking it really slowly and maybe doing like a bit at a time and then leaving it and going away and coming back. Letting it dry really nicely and yeah, not letting it kind of overwhelm you. Okay, so now I'm not adding my final bit in yet. I've got another set of tabs to glue and hold. So that's those ones. So I'm going to glue those. So holding this edge is probably the most important edge to hold and make sure it's glued, because that's the one that you're going to be pushing down to make this little triangle bit. So that edge, it's less important that that kind of sticks completely. So this might be stating the obvious, but as I've been doing it, I've been finding it really helpful to just remind myself these square bits are the ones that stay flat, and these any bits that are triangle are eventually going to be pushed in, and that's helped me kind of get my bearings. I'm not a very technical person, but I have managed this, and you will be able to manage it too. So I'm just waiting for this final bit to dry. So I am on my last piece of card. I'm not going to lie, this bit's slightly intimidating me. So what I'm making sure is that all my folds are really foldy. And so they're really, they kind of take their shape nice and easily, because that actually really helps when you are trying to fit them in. So this bit obviously is going to be slightly trickier because we can't get inside the shape to kind of hold the glue on these. So it's the same principle. We're going to be putting, this is an open edge, so the tabbed bit is going to be going under there, and where's my tabs? Like that. That will form that little triangle there, and then that tab bit goes under there, and that tab bit goes there. So we have got one tabbed side, two tabbed sides, four tabbed sides to maneuver into position. these ones that are on here, we're going to need to add the glue to them. And so I'm just refolding them so it's clear where the tabs are. And then I've got my bit here. So obviously the first ones you are going to be able to reach in. It's going to be the last one that is the trickiest. But you can just see, oh my goodness, it's exciting. This is starting to come together. Okay, so this is my penultimate tab and I've glued it. And now I'm just, you are going to need to get your hand into the box to try and press those tabs against the side of the cardboard as much as you can, right up to this penultimate fold. So obviously the last one you're not going to be able to get your hands in there, but we're going to put glue on the tabs and we're going to fold it under. But what I need to, as I let that dry, show you is that we're going to insert the little hanging string. What you want to do is cut it in half, cut the thread in half that we've given you, tie a knot at the end, and I might tie that again because we're going to trap it in the fold of the cardboard and then it won't come out. So you've got a lovely chunky knot there, and once this is dried I'm going to pop it in and it will just peep out of the last fold. So my final, oh my goodness, this is actually a dog's dinner. Don't look at all the glue. That one, that final tab does take quite a lot of holding and sticking because there's so much pressure on it to kind of come undone. So you're gonna have to be really patient with that one. That final one, and I think it's normal to have this kind of little gap because it's just kind of impossible to get the tab to kind of fall around, but that is fine. And you've got your hanging decoration. Now I think I'm going to be so much better at this on the second time round, so bear that in mind. Be patient. Make your folds really very folded. That will help. Have on hand that kind of damp cloth to wipe away the glue, and enjoy the process of learning origami.